Hi guys, me, boy John C. We've got a special guest on today. We've got Mustafa coming to you live. He's a wrestler, he is an actor, he is a kickboxer. He's coming to you live as soon as he comes onto the screen. Let's get him on. See if we can get him on now. Facebook's a funny thing, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get him on for you, Mustafa. We're going to get him on. It says it's declined. See if we can get him on again. Yeah. Right, try him again. Oh, here we go.
Hello.
Now.
Oh, that's better. Whatever you did, I can hear you now.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
What happened?
I have no idea. Basically,
Well,
first thing was the join button wouldn't work. So a number of times I clicked the join button, it just didn't work at all.
I know I had the same problem with a WWE superstar earlier.
All right.
And it was so embarrassing as well. It's so embarrassing. You know what I mean? But obviously, I just want to welcome you, Mustafa, to
Oh, thank you.
the Live podcast show. And I hear you're an actor, you're a kickboxer, you're a wrestler. Do you want to tell the people your story and stuff?
Yeah. I mean, basically, boy, I'm 47 years old and I started off in martial arts when I was about 14, 15 years old. Started off in Shotokan karate and then moved on to Shukakai karate and then American kickboxing.
Okay.
From American kickboxing, it was that I injured someone in a competition. And I don't, believe it or not, I don't like hurting people. And I wanted to change sports. And I think the only logical thing was to go into to the wrestling. And I'm a bit of an entertainer. I like entertaining, and so I gave wrestling a go back in 2001 in Stoke-on-Trent, and yeah, so I've been wrestling since 2001.
Okay, so what part of the UK are you actually from?
I'm from the North Leeds in West Yorkshire.
I used to live up there years ago in Beeston.
Beeston.
Yeah.
That's where I'm from.
Near the BP garage.
All right, okay. I'm up at the top and near Tommy Ross.
I'm always, because of my work that I do, I'm always in Leeds up there.
Oh wow.
So who do you wrestle for? What promotion do you wrestle for?
The main promotion I wrestle for is UKW, and UKW have been going on for quite a few years, and we're live on pay-per-views as well. They've got their own network. So I've been wrestling for UKW for quite a few years now, since 2011. Yeah.
All right, so you're enjoying it then, or?
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
What about your acting and stuff like that?
The acting, yeah. I mean, basically been acting since 2015. I've been in, I think the one what I do get recognised for most is Man Like Mo Bean. I've not had any main roles, but I've always been in the background. But I was lucky enough to work with Guz Khan and Art Malik for Man Like Mo Bean, and I think the cherry on the cake, as it were, was the BBC called me back, and from what I got told is that they kind of rewrote the script to give me a few lines as well. So
Oh,
I was buzzing.
so that was alright then. So have you got any other acting stuff coming up, or are you just concentrating on your wrestling at the moment?
With the acting, I've had to, with everything. I mean, obviously with COVID and everything, I had to put everything on hold. But I've been caring for my dad for about a year and a half as well. So a lot of the acting was put on hold. Um, so now dad's in a care home. So now I'm getting jobs coming in. Uh, uh, yeah. So basically, it's just applying for roles, and I'm planning to get back to work. I used to work in education, so I'm planning to get back to working in education. But I've had quite a few acting jobs, but I've had to look, at this moment in time, I've had to turn them down just because of dad, because I want to be close to Leeds and make sure that he's okay in the care home, and still got to visit him. But I've had a couple of jobs this week as in Manchester, um, basically part of a riot. We're just a group of guys that are just rioting, throwing bricks and this, that, and the other. So that was exciting. That was good. It's always good to throw things around.
It's always good, yeah, because one day in the future, I might be able to hook you up with some good contacts because I'm signed to a big talent agency in America. I'm actually going out there in
All
December
right.
to do some work in there, so I might be able to get you some sign up to the agency as well and get you some work in America as well, playing some tough guys
Oh
and
no.
stuff.
Yeah,
But I'll
yeah.
talk to you about
That'd
that
be
privately.
good.
I'll talk to you about it privately. But that's what I
Yeah,
can do for
yeah,
you
definitely.
to try and help you and what you do. So obviously, have you got any more wrestling shows coming up, or you taking a back
Yeah,
seat
I
on that?
mean, with no. I mean, the thing is, I'm the oldest guy on the roster there. A lot of the roster look at me as the locker room leader. I'm 47 and a half, should I say. And body is battered, bruised, and aching. But the draw of entertaining is just way too strong. And I've actually dropped around £50, over £50 in weight, just so I can keep going. And
Yeah,
so we've got shows every single month, and they usually go live, which is something very very new to everyone at UKW. So it's a fantastic experience. But yeah, every month, and I believe that there's a few more shows coming up as well.
yeah. So you wouldn't want to do like wrestling full time then, or
No, I think with the wrestling full time, I'm too old for it now. Too old for it. I've had a lot of injuries. I've snapped my kneecap twice. Shoulders have been jarred. The neck. I think every wrestler has injured the neck at one point or another. And but at the age of 47, I've got in just over 2.5 years. I'm going to be 50. So it's like, how long can I continue? So I'm doing everything that I can to kind of get myself fitter and stronger, so I can continue to step in that ring.
yeah, because when I was like 18, 19, that was my dream to be a wrestler, and I
Yeah.
went through the motions and I did one match and got injured badly. I never done it again.
No, this is what a lot of people do. Is like initially the reason I became a wrestler was my father's dream. He wanted to become a wrestler. He never got the opportunity, and so when we found out there was a school in Stoke-on-Trent back in 2001, that's where we went, and then it just
Yeah,
everything snowballed from there. And then we found out UKW was just literally a few miles away from myself. But
yeah.
yeah, it's a lot of people just think it's very, very easy to get into. They think it's very easy to go out and to wrestle, and it's far from it. It's one of the hardest sports I've ever been involved in.
Yeah, I'll put it this way, yeah. But when I did my tryout, I got whipped so many times with that kendo stick. It just does you.
Oh,
Then,
yeah,
you see
yeah.
the scar I got here. See the
Oh,
scar
yeah,
I got here.
yeah,
That
yeah.
was a steel chair straight to the head, busted me
Oh,
open. I got a bruise. I did a. There's like a one match. It was like a hardcore match with
oh,
barbed wire and everything. I ripped up to shreds, and it was never again. My back's still not right now. Like 20 years later, it's still
wow,
not the same. You
wow.
know, that was
Yeah.
just in that one match. I took a beating.
Oh,
Seriously, I do beating. So when people say wrestling's fake and the
oh,
weapons are fake or not, I
yeah,
bled. I
yeah,
bled like a bit. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? And I can admit that.
But
But now, because I can't do the sport, now I've always wanted to do something. But I'm in talks now about opening up my own promotion
right,
eventually,
okay, yeah.
and getting the old wrestlers to come in and be coaches and different things to coach the youngsters of today.
Hmm.
That's always been my dream, to do that, or to do something within advertising directory for wrestlers. So you can
Right,
just say, I've got one running now, which is thejohncadge.com. And what that is, that's a entertainment directory. And I'm using that, and there's a tab on there for wrestlers. So
right,
if you're, say, I don't know, in Brighton and you want to book a wrestler, you can just look on there and go, oh, there's a wrestler actually around the corner. So that's
right.
how I do it. So I'm
Oh,
building that at the moment now with a team of mine. So
right.
I've always wanted to do something within wrestling, but because I can't do it,
Yeah,
I might as well do something else,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
That's one
Um,
thing I've always said to Jonathan Sedgwick, the owner of UKW, is that I said I'm coming towards the end of my career, but I said I want a part. I still want a part to play within the wrestling world. And I think whenever, like yourself, whenever you've been involved in wrestling, it's very hard to get away from it. It's very hard, and I still want to be connected to wrestling one way or another in the future. You know I don't have long left, um, and but I definitely want to have something to do with wrestling. Be it I mean, at the moment I help coach, so my speciality for wrestling is mainly fitness and stamina work and flexibility. So basically, on a Wednesday, Friday, and a Saturday, I take the sessions there, and then Jonathan and myself or whoever's there, we get together, and then the second half of the session, there's a lot of the wrestling, the actual wrestling training in there, because a lot of people won't even realize that you need really, really good fitness to step in the ring. You need that cardio, you need everything like that, and plus a lot of people think, oh, it's fake, and every single person that said it's fake to me has never even stepped into a training session, never mind into a ring. Um,
yeah,
and that's what one thing what I always say to the trainees is we're doing something what a lot of people A want to do, B don't want to do because they don't have the skills to do it.
yeah. Because that's why I'm lucky living where I live down in Hastings, down the south coast. We've actually got a wrestling promotion here and a wrestling school as well.
Oh
It's
wow.
it's you might have heard about it. It's that EEW.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's run by the Dominator, Stu Allen, and his wife.
Ah right, yeah,
The
yeah.
the Dominator. They run it. Yeah.
Luminate.
And some of the people that are on that in that school, you know, they're going to be stars one day. They're talented. Some of them individuals, you know. And like I think personally that really, if you can't do it, why not join them?
Yeah.
Why not? That's why I'm in talks now with a few people about joining forces together and starting a school or an academy or something to train the next generation up. Like I'll be
Hmm.
the advertising brand behind it and
Yeah.
set it all up. But then you get in trainers to do that, but you get guest trainers to come in. Like it
Yeah.
could be yourself that comes down, for example, and
Yeah.
does something, or it
Yeah.
could be somebody else that comes in and does something. Even though I can't do it, doesn't mean to say that I can't try and help the next generation start.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly, exactly, and it's like what I said earlier on. It's like I know I don't have long left in wrestling, but I still want to contribute towards it. And it's like yourself. You've had a go. You've been involved, and you don't want to. You still want to contribute to something. To the British wrestling scene. I mean the competition now is just it's fierce. It's just there's a lot more promotions than when back in 2001 where I think there was only one North, well, what I call North, which is Stoke-on-Trent. I think anything above Stoke. I don't think there was a wrestling promotion that existed back in 2001. But yeah, I mean, even with UKW, I've been with them since 2011, and you know the fans are amazing, the promotion's amazing, and Jonathan's done a lot of. He's worked hard for UKW. He's pushed it. I think we had an event on Saturday. I was out of action. I couldn't wrestle, but every single match was in a steel cage. It was called Hallowed Ground. So that was, from what I've heard, it was a fantastic event. I only wish I could be there, that's all, but sadly I couldn't. I was supposed to wrestle, but due to injuries and illness, I couldn't make it.
See, the good thing about, with the wrestling and stuff is that I'm waiting for my studio to be redone now, but as from next week, I'm hosting it's me and somebody else. We're putting together a wrestling chat show where we interview wrestlers as they are now. There could be promotions, there could be old timers, there could be loads of different things. And that's what I said to you. In the next 2 weeks or so, I've got 2 world famous ex WWE superstars. They reached out to me and said, we like your passion, what you do. I'm not going to reveal any names yet, but I'll tell you later. But they're quite popular. Put it that way. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And they said to me, oh, they saw my podcast thing because they followed me back on Instagram. I said, you're more than welcome to come on. So we exchanged numbers on WhatsApp and different things, and I can't wait to get them on. That's really can't.
Yeah. That's brilliant.
My Facebook's probably going to crash with the amount of people that were tuning in. It's crazy. But I can't do that until next week. Obviously, I'll reveal to you who they are. Yeah. And maybe in the future, me and you can co-host a wrestling podcast show or something, like each week or something like that, when I get things put together properly.
Yeah,
you know, maybe
definitely.
Because one thing I like about Facebook or Instagram, you can get 4 people on the live chat together.
Ah, right, okay, yeah.
And then 2 guests or 1 guest or something like that.
Yeah.
We can talk and because I want to bring you involved in it, because obviously you know wrestling, so, and it gives you a chance to meet people that have probably been your idols and.
Oh yeah. I mean, this is the thing with wrestling. It's I've been honestly blessed when I've wrestled, because I've wrestled on same shows as obviously Davey Boy Smith, his son Harry. So I was on the same show as him. Such a nice guy. And I wrestled. It's only recently came up on my Facebook where I wrestled on the same show as Ultimo Dragon. I think he was on WCW. This, that, and the other. And I've also been to Great Khali's place in India. So quite a few years ago, I was going to head off to India in April, and I messaged him in January, asked him if I could pop over and see him. He just gave me his telephone number. He went, give me a call. I gave him a call, and he said, you're more than welcome to come over. And then end of March.
Who was that, Great Khali?
Yeah, Great Khali. And he contacted me again. He just went, sorry. He went, sorry, I'm not going to be able to be here when you're here. I have to go to America, but still, please come along to CWE, his wrestling promotion there. Yeah, CWE, and I went over there, which was fantastic to see. And I've met Jinder Mahal. It's wrestling, and I've met some fantastic characters. Sabu from ECW. It's been a fantastic journey so far.
Yeah, well, put it this way: I've had 3 that were in WWE. One's still in there that are thinking about what dates that they can do. One hasn't got back to me yet, and you probably know who he is. He's literally only just retired. The dead man, the Undertaker, the dead man.
Really?
Him. Yeah. He hasn't said no, but he hasn't said yes. I've reached out to him. He's speaking to him on Instagram. It'd be my dream to get him on there. And also the one that you just said, the Great Khali as well. I spoke to him. And I'm waiting for another representative to come back to me. Old Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Him. I've reached out to him as well. Can you see the caliber? I'm not telling you the other 2 that are confirmed live on here, but these ones, even good old Kane, Glenn Jacobs.
Wow.
He added me on Facebook. I reached out to Kane.
Wow.
The big red machine,
Yeah,
Kane,
yeah,
him. I even reached out to them, and see that's because I'm friends with one of them, but then other people add me because I'm mutual friends with them.
yeah,
Like even the
yeah.
one that played Santino Morello, the
Oh
sock
yeah,
man.
yeah.
He reached out through an Instagram.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I'm getting a lot of love on Instagram at the moment from these stars at the moment.
Awesome.
So um, yeah, so that's the sort of caliber that I'm trying to get.
Yeah.
And obviously I want to bring you on board with it as well, so you get a chance to co-host it with me as well.
Oh,
You know.
well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I mean, every name that you mentioned there, they're all legends. They're in my eyes, they're legends, and to get to WWE, to wrestle in front of thousands of people is every wrestler's dream. And you know what? To the guys that have gone out and done it, the amount of work that they've had to put in is just ridiculous. And every name that you mentioned there, just legends. And it's you know I watch some of the shows now, and it's just crazy. I'm an old geezer, so I prefer the WWF days, the World Wrestling
Yeah.
Federation days, um, and but I think a lot of this generation should kind of watch that, and because there was a lot of storytelling, a lot of drama, and it was colourful. But I've not had the chance because I'm always running here, there, and everywhere to watch any of the latest wrestling at the moment. But I'm gonna get round to it. Definitely gonna get
There's a lot
round
of
to it.
people that go into that AEW now, that
Yeah,
new one by Cody Rhodes now. They're all going over there now. I'm
yeah,
even in talks with a few of them now from
wow,
there as
yeah,
well. And what I'm trying to do is do it where there's, say, me and you, and one from WWE and one from AEW at the same time, and then
wow,
put them both in on the spot,
right,
and they're both agreed. So
yeah,
that should be interesting to see
wow,
two rival companies, two rival wrestlers at the same time. And do
yeah,
you know the person I've reached out to and I'm waiting for a response back? From EW, the one who founded it, Cody Rhodes. Yeah.
really,
I
oh yeah,
said to him, but obviously, but when I first started out doing these, I did actually have a social media war with someone who's in WWE now. I can't say the name for reasons because I don't want to get in trouble or anything. But
yeah,
he slated me on Twitter.
wow,
So basically, we had a bit of a heated words on Twitter, and I got asked by WWE to take down the comment that I wrote because
oh,
it said to this wrestler that wrestles for them now. I said to him, I said, look, I might not be able to wrestle anymore. I said, but I'll come to where you don't know where I'm going to be when you turn up at a UK show.
hmm,
I could just buy a ticket and turn up like a good little fan. And I said, I'll
yeah,
just kick your ass at the same time while I'm there. You know what I'm saying? But
it's
I
true.
got told off for saying that. I had to delete the. But I was more than happy to go to the show that he was going to be able to kick his ass there and then in that ring there and then.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
The skill was still there. I was going to do. I was prepared to do that because of
yeah,
what he said about me on Twitter, and I wasn't happy about it. And
yeah,
most people would. But then obviously you should see the amount of barrage that I got from that. I had to
yeah.
delete everything that I did. I can't. I really want to tell you the name, but I can't because
No, no, no.
he's now with WWE, so I
Yeah,
can't. But it was crazy. It was just crazy how um like social media wars can go
yeah.
crazy.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And
I think
like you
that's
probably
that.
had a few spats in your time. You know what I'm saying with people
Oh,
like
yeah,
real.
yeah. I think we've.
real people.
It goes with the territory. It goes with the territories, So there's. I'm not going to mention his name, but there was an ex WWE wrestler that wrestled on one of the shows. Um, how shall I say? Um, I think when you've reached to the heights of WWE, I
Yeah,
think it doesn't matter what you do, help the ones that are starting out.
it's true. It's true.
Help the ones that are starting out. Help the ones that are coming up through wrestling. Give them the knowledge, right? Help improve the industry. But then when you get, I mean, it's even in acting. I've met a lot of the actors that showed you so much love the minute they meet you, but then you get some actors that are just totally arrogant. that don't even want to communicate. They don't even want to help. They don't want to support. And I've had one rare occasion where one superstar was very, very arrogant, very rude. Walked in, um, didn't really acknowledge anyone, didn't greet anyone, but then kind of disrespected people as well. But that was many, many, many years ago. But I just think when you've got that knowledge, when you've got that expertise, be humble.
Yeah.
Help the ones that are coming up. Help the ones that are coming up. Give them the knowledge. And I'm sure that like I said, even in acting, there's actors that I've worked with that we're always told as supporting artists or the smaller actors, do not greet the main actors and this that, and the other. When I did Man Like Mobeen, it was fantastic. Art Malik was just a legend, and Guz Khan, but when I worked on a couple of other projects, you try and introduce yourself, and then it's like cold shoulder. They don't even want to know you, and I'm just thinking it's a bit disrespectful that people look up to you, respect what you're doing, but then you just shoot them down, and it's not right. I think
Sorry, go on.
No, I just think it's just really, really disrespectful, and that's one thing that I've kind of done is I'm not a celebrity. I'm not a major celebrity. I'm an average guy that's done a few extraordinary things, but I have been stopped on the street. I have been recognised. Even when I was away on holiday, Tenerife and Gran Canaria, I got recognised. Mustafa Khan, I got recognised as the guy from Man Like Mobeen. I was an inspirational talker to a school in Bradford only last week or 2 weeks ago, and as I'm walking through the whole school, and some of the pupils recognised me from Man Like Mobeen, and the whole school just kind of went a bit nutty. And even when I went from a job interview and I'm getting a tour of the school, I got recognised there. And the thing is, you got to stay grounded. You got to stay grounded, and someone's acknowledged you, someone's that's seen you, and you can see that they like what you're doing, they're supporting you. Then support them. And I've always been, even with the kickboxing side of it, every wrestling side of it, every single person that I've worked with will get nothing but 100% respect from me, because as you know yourself, it takes a lot of guts to step in that ring. It takes a lot of guts to step in a kickboxing ring. It takes a lot of guts to step in front of a camera, and for the ones that are coming up, we need to give them that support. We need to give them that, give them that advice. But you do get people that will just totally, how shall I put it? I'm trying to put it politely, but disrespect you and the industry that you're working in.
Yeah, but have you noticed though now that a lot of UK wrestlers now trying to make it in America now? They're going over there now. So look at the ones that are joining the NWA now over there. That new promotion with that Nick Atlas and stuff like that. Nick Alders, sorry, and they've gone over there.
Right.
And the other one, what's his name? What's his name? On the long hair.
No, God, I'm really bad with names.
No, he goes out with that Camilla. Camille. I'm friends with him as well on Facebook. I can't remember his name now. I see so many people I've forgotten.
It's not a Scottish guy, is it? No.
No, English guy.
English.
He went out with that famous wrestler with Tessa. I can't remember his name. It's going to annoy me now. Well, anyway, he went over there, and it's surprising how they've been there like 10 years now, and they're still smashing it in America. But I'm finding a lot of them are leaving here to go there.
Yeah.
They're trying to look overseas. I bet you wish you did that years ago, went over to America and conquered over there.
Oh,
you probably would have been over there,
It's I went to Canada in 2000, and that was a year before I started wrestling. And over there, it was just wrestling ruled. in Canada. You know, Bret Hart country. Even when I was on the plane, my mum was saying, "Are you excited to go see your relatives?" And this, and I hope my relatives don't mind me saying. The only thing I was excited about was I was going to Bret Hart country, and that's how big wrestling was for me. But when I got there, wow, the Canadians, the Americans, when we went over to the States as well, the wrestling is so much. I mean, no wonder
Wrestling's
the
quite
guys.
big in the States, you
What's that?
know.
Sorry?
Wrestling is massive in America,
Oh
massive,
yeah,
massive.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, it's starting to creep up in England now as well. If
yeah,
you notice now, it's starting to pick up now.
yeah.
There's a few more promotions popping up now. Like that one in Preston. Can't remember that one, but it's called PCW.
PCW, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Preston. Yeah, I was speaking to that guy last year, the guy that owns the whole thing.
Right.
And I think it's amazing how you guys are so passionate about your sport, but you can branch out into other areas like you do acting, kickboxing, but then you go the other way around and you just go back to your normal job being a teacher.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
drop it down one level, you could drop it down a level. So you keep your feet firmly on
Firmly
the
on the
ground.
ground. Yeah,
You know?
yeah. Because
You
I
got
mean, it's work. I mean, working in education, I managed isolation rooms, so I worked with a lot of the naughty kids and this and the other. But one thing what related to them was I was one of those naughty kids myself. I know what it's like to be on the street. I know what it's the temptations of the street. And I was lucky that my paths kind of got changed, and I was introduced to martial arts. And this is what I was saying to these youngsters now, is that a lot of the youngsters don't believe in themselves. You know, they
no.
don't love themselves. There's no self-esteem. There's no self-confidence. And you know, and basically when I got my black belt in kickboxing and I set up my kickboxing school, that's one thing I always say to my students is that you have got to love and respect yourself, believe in yourself. Um, Anything is possible, anything is achievable, but it takes hard work. I'm sure you will understand that, you know, whatever you do takes hard work.
Yeah. So would you ever open up your own either acting school or wrestling school or kickboxing school or anything like that? Would you ever do that?
Well, I've got my own kickboxing school. I've got which is called Monty School of Kickboxing. That's been next year. That'll be going. It'll be 20 years. But then even that, I'm a traditionalist, so I don't put no pressure on students to buy uniforms and you know this, that, and the other. The least they can spend, the better for me. I don't want them spending shed loads of money. So basically, I'm a traditional, and it's American kickboxing that I teach, which is quite different to the British style. With the wrestling, one thing what martial arts has taught me is that when I got my black belt, and when a few other people got their black belt from the same club, they tried to open a club at the same place as my instructors, you know, on his doorstep, which is
Yeah.
disrespectful. Um, and I know that Leeds used to have a wrestling school, but UKW is only a few miles away, and I wouldn't disrespect Jonathan Sedgwick or UKW by opening up a school on their doorstep. And the thing is with UKW, fantastic setup. We've got a 20-foot ring there. You know, we've got weights, we've got a little gym downstairs and everything. And everything that a wrestler needs is there. It's already set up. There's no need to set the ring up, take it down end of the session or anything like that. And I think, um, I think the guys at UKW, the management there, will agree that I have done quite a bit for UKW. And I've not asked for anything in return. And that's one thing what John and I have got a great respect for each other is that if I ever need a ring or a wrestler for a charity event, which I used to do at the schools, he never used to charge me for the ring. He never used to charge me for transport or the wrestlers or this, that, and the other. We did several shows at a school that I worked at. And I think that's one thing with wrestling. There's that side of it. There's a good, there's like a brotherhood, and everyone looks out for each other as well. You know, and you've got wrestlers that have got issues just like everyone else. You know, anxiety, depression, and wrestling helps them. you know, because they become that character. They become, you know, that character, and that character is a superhero to themselves, but also to the crowd as well.
Yeah, so obviously with your kickboxing academy, is that just something that you hire a hall out for, or have you got your own actual building which is yours?
No, I hire it. I hire it out. I The thing with me is if I had the finances, if I had the money, I would love to have. So I'd have my own premises, and I'd have it matted out, and I'd have punch bags, speedballs, a boxing ring. I'd have the whole thing. But the way sometimes one of the other things is what a lot of people think is because I've been in certain shows or I've wrestled or I've done this, that, and the other, that it pays well, and it doesn't. You know, in reality, we've got to be realistic. And for nearly 2 years, I've been caring for my dad, and when you get carers allowance at £67 a week, that's £67 a week is don't last long. And so basically, a lot of people. I've also had a lot of people just say, "Oh, Mr. Movie Star, Mr. This, that." And I still live in Beeston, I still live in the town where I was born and bred, I'm not a millionaire, I'm not rich, I'm not, this, that, and the other, financially, I'm not secure, but I'm doing what I'm doing because I love it,
No, I was just about to come to that because people think just because you've been movies or you're wrestling or you're kickboxing, you've got money. It's same as me because I've got my entertainment directory and that's filling up with people. People think you make money. You don't really, because by the time they paid you to list on there, you've got to pay your admin guys to put them on there. You're lucky if you walk around with five for each client.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
people,
yeah,
think you rake it in,
yeah,
but you don't. So I understand where you're coming from. I think because you've been in movies and wrestling all around the UK and probably Europe as well, that you're a multi-millionaire, but you
yeah.
still live in the same place,
That's
the same
yeah,
area.
yeah.
You
And,
still do the same. You don't make money people think you do. You know.
I mean, the thing with me is, and I'll be honest with you, I know I'm coming towards the end of my wrestling career. So there was another promotion that asked me to wrestle a few weeks ago, and I've wrestled for them a couple of times, and they asked me my fee, and I said, so they asked me, they went, how much? And I know that a lot of the wrestlers are going to hate this now, what I'm going to say.
Or don't say if it's any. I get
No,
what you're
no.
saying.
Yeah. He's basically, they asked me my fee. And because I've got the respect of the people that are there, I just said, look, I just love wrestling. It's not a million miles away from my doorstep. I don't need nothing. It's a small promotion, right? I'm happy to wrestle. I was wrestling in the main event. And I just said, look, just scrap the fee, and that's it. I just want to wrestle. I just want to get back in the ring. I want to get back, to my fitness level, and this, that, and the other, and that's it. And I know that a lot of the wrestlers will be saying, well, you need to get paid. You need to get paid. But when you're 47 years old, right, and you do run your own little kickboxing school, and thankfully now I'm getting back into work next month. Is for me, it was. How shall I put it? It was just a pleasure to get back in the ring, and you know what? We smashed it. We just, I was a heel, came out, and I had a friend of mine that came out as a bodyguard with me, and we just, you know what? We smashed it, and it was just the place was just screaming. The crowd was just crazy for it. But if I was becoming and I was an established wrestler, a new wrestler, then I'd be saying, yeah, I need X amount of money per show. But because I'm coming towards the end of it, I said, look, I'll just do it for free. It's not an issue, not a problem.
So what do you do? Do you normally just do your wrestling up north, or do you go down south, like London or anything like that? Do you only do there?
I've I've mainly just up north. I mainly just kind of stuck with UKW. A couple of promotions I've asked. There's a friend of mine that's I don't know if I've got this right, but you know, he's born again Christian, and we do a lot of shows. I wrestled for him in a church, which was an amazing experience. And also there was a wrestling promotion in Blackburn, and they called me back up there a couple of times. And but like I said, at 47 years old, I'm just kind of sticking with UKW. I've got maybe a guaranteed spot on each show. I'm more of an entertainer, and I think I'm getting to the point where my wrestling career is going downwards now. But like I was saying to you earlier on, I still want something to do with it. I'm still going to be involved in it one way or another. But yeah, so at the moment it's just UKW at the moment.
Yeah, I'll have to come up and to see one of your wrestling shows one day before you retire.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. You should do that. You should do that. Yeah, it'd be good to have you back up beast in small world.
Seriously, I lived across the road from that BP garage, literally across. When I
Wow,
first got there, I went there because I was starring in a movie, so I had to like, up there because I'm an actor as well myself, and
wow.
I had like 2 weeks to stay in this place, and I was sort of seeing this girl from there, and I got lost. I went to the BP garage and went down. There's so many side streets,
Yeah,
alleyways, and different things. But
yeah,
all I know is the road. When you come out of the road, there's a BP garage right there,
yeah, yeah,
opposite. I
yeah.
lived on that in a little cul-de-sac. I ended up
Right. Yeah,
staying for
yeah,
2 years. And then
yeah.
at the end of that road, where you've got the BP garage, if you turn left, there's a big bridge that takes you into the city centre of Leeds.
That's right.
Massive big.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was there. I was
Wow.
round that man around there. And I was getting
Brilliant.
recognised. The guy, oh, you're that guy off that Channel 4 programme. You're a legend. Because I was in Channel 4. So they recognise it.
No,
So at Leeds, they showed me a lot of love up Leeds, I must
yeah.
admit. The
The,
bars and stuff. I've done meet and greets in bars in Leeds as well, and I was getting I was getting mobbed up there like in a walkabout up there and meet and crazy. They love me in Leeds. I love Leeds. It's a nice
yeah,
place. I want to go back.
Leeds is a good town. Leeds is a great, it's a fantastic place. A lot of, like you said, a lot of love here. A lot of
Yeah.
everyone's welcome, and it is. I mean, like I said, I'm born and bred in Leeds, and I wouldn't want to move anywhere else. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. And it's looked after me, and I look after Leeds as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
next time I come up that way, I'll have to hook up with you. Next time
yeah,
I come
yeah,
up there.
yeah,
I'll give you a
definitely.
bell or something next time I'm up there. We'll go for
Yeah,
coffee or something,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
'cause it'd been an honour to meet the kickboxing champion, you know? Yeah.
That'd be good to meet you as well. It'd be good. But you've got we've exchanged numbers, so but make sure you do. When you do come up,
Yeah, yeah.
message me, and we'll definitely, and we can hopefully if you come up and it's a UKW night, we can you can pop in and see what a training session looks like, and because one of
Yeah.
the a very good friend of mine, Tavi, he's a director and he's written a script called Babyface, where I'm going to be playing the main heel. Originally, he was going to, it was all going to be filmed, but then COVID happened. But he's had a couple of WWE stars message him about the movie and said, "Look, wish you all the best for it." And they want to see it once the movie's out. And he's been training himself. He's been training there for a year or so now, and he's making progress. But yeah, it'd be good if you pop up, and I can take you down to UKW and
That
show you what.
might that might help me out as well because I'm in the process now. I've been in talks with Netflix about a few things, and because obviously it's wrestling related, about putting it together. I'm going to start it on YouTube first. I'm going to put together a 6-part weekly episode of the life of a wrestler.
Oh
That's the
wow.
name of it. Do that. So it films them in their training, at their matches, at their worst, live interviews, me going to the
Yeah.
live interviews with them, with a film crew. That's what
Yeah.
I'm putting together now. You're the
Well,
first I've told it's live on air. That's what's
yeah.
happening. Next
Yeah.
year, you'll have to watch it every episode on YouTube for now until it gets picked
Yeah.
up by a network. And
Right.
you never know, you might be starring in it, you know. And then eventually I'm going to be putting it onto a DVD that'll be being sold on Amazon.
Wow.
So
Wow.
that's what I'm doing now. So I'm writing the script now,
Wow.
how I wanted to what I wanted to do it, and what better way than to obviously do that with you up there. But then also, if you can speak to the guys from the school that you're at and the promotion you're at, maybe I
Yeah.
could spend a week up there and do like some footage up there and different things. I interview a couple of the wrestlers, interview
Yeah.
you, interview him,
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
to the live matches you do, film it, do different
Yeah.
things, interview them backstage of how they
Yeah.
thought the match went. Just different things like that I can put together. And I go
Definitely.
home and then my video team, they just edit it all together. There's your first episode.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Definitely.
then
Definitely. All I have to do is I'll have a word with John, and the thing is, John and I, we've got a very, very good relationship. We call each other brother. We are very, very close, and most definitely, if he said, "Yeah, that's fine," we're most welcome, most welcome. So it'd be good, and it'd be good. It'd be good to kind of see someone outside of UKW see how we do things, and any
yeah.
feedback from yourself and everything. It'd be good.
Right. Well, I'm going to say thank you for coming on my show,
No,
Mustafa. Just
thank you.
Facebook's giving me a warning here about the time, so I need to
Oh yeah,
cut it.
yeah, yeah. No worries.
But
All right.
but I'll speak to you later on. But I want to thank you for coming on. And obviously, there wasn't many people watching it now, but by the morning there'll be 1,000 or something that have viewed it. So it
Wow.
always happens. It's late as well. Don't forget,
Yeah.
it's like midnight.
Wow.
So yeah, I want to thank you for coming on, Mustafa.
No,
Thank you.
pleasure. Thank you. I appreciate it. And definitely come up when you come up. Give me a call and
Okay,
we'll go for a coffee.
okay, bud. Thank you very
Okay,
much,
buddy.
mate.
Take
See
care.
you later, bud.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you, Mustafa, the legend, Mustafa Khan, the kickboxer, the actor, the wrestler, all-round superstar. Mwah. Thank you, sir.